Welcome back to the weekly Forex cast. This is going to be a very volatile week. It's a lot going on, as we can see here on the fundamentals. Dealing with the BOJ, we got the JPY, the Bank of Japan monetary policy. So, a lot of talks about them finally ending the negative interest rates, because keeping them interest rates negative, of course, has had yen under a lot of pressure, and the yen has been, trending to the downside for a while now. But so this is going to be major. If they do shift the policy and raise the rates, we can expect a big, pump on the yen. All right. But we're going to see how things develop Monday, Tuesday, see from there. Then also we got with the Australian dollar, the RBA rate statement, press conference as well. Tuesday, we got some Canadian dollar CPI. Wednesday, we also have CPI for the pound, and Wednesday is also a big week dealing with the FOMC with the US dollar. And with the US dollar, we know they are leaning towards rate cuts coming, but Powell said before that they weren't expecting rates to come as soon as like March. So chances are they don't raise rates just yet, and they keep things high for now. And if so, that could keep bullish pressure on the dollar for now. So we'll just see how they play it. And then we got unemployment rate, we got flash services. So it's a lot going on. Also dealing with the rates for the pound on Thursday. All right. So really want to be patient this week and allow things to come to us. So here, first and foremost, like always, starting with the DXY. So we see dollar did end bullish last week. All right. We pretty much seeing this on the daily chart. We came down to this level of, this level of demand price action, and price actually found a strong level of support. So we see even here on the daily, price formed this bullish engulfing strong pump. All right. So right now things are still it's looking like we could get another wave up, because looking to the left, price closed below this major level of demand. You see it was demand there, demand here as well. So by forming that impulsive close back above, this could be setting up potentially, if rates stay the same, but depending on what they say as well, if they really push rate cuts, then we could see a fall. But as of now, we could see something like this and see the dollar give another wave up. But we just got to be patient. So dealing with the dollar, if you're trading dollar pairs, I would be patient. Be careful if you're trading it prior to FOMC. Definitely after FOMC, the FOMC release, it will be a lot more clear to the direction that, the dollar, the DXY, and dollar pairs are going to head. All right. And also, of course, with the yen index. The yen index, the JPY, did break down. All right. We had a fall from here, right? And we ended the week bearish. We closed below this level of structure. So it could be setting up for another fall, so I'm going to be careful here, because we could see another fall here and then maybe see things turn around. All right. So I want to see how they play it going into the BOJ, because right now it looks like we could potentially get another fall into that. So maybe it can be a sell the news type event, and then things turn around, or sell, we'll see. We'll see, because I know a lot of people are leaning towards them ending the negative rate. So we'll have to play it by what price shows us moving forward. GU. So GU actually, this sale that I was expecting did play out. We could see here that really when price opened the week with this close below this level of structure, I mean, looking to the left here on the daily, we can see this is a level of supply. So seeing price close back below that level, I caught the initial drop, right? And then on his retest, I was anticipating another fall. So we had a break of structure, retest, and then it gave that next wave to the downside. So now, dealing with the dollar, this is going to determine what GU is going to do here. If the dollar just falls off with FOMC, then we could see GU hold here and give a wave up. All right. In order for me to say, okay, continue to look for sells on this, really seeing a break further below structure, looking to the left. All right, this is like roughly a level of structure over here. All right, really below 1.27, right? If price gives a firm, continues to break down and breaks below structure, we could see a bigger wave down. All right, but it all depends on what the dollar is going to do. I am leaning towards it to be bullish early in the week, but at the same time, we know rate cuts are coming. So they could be setting up for that. We could possibly see that develop. I mean, the last weekly candle on GU was very bullish. All right. So this also could be just a corrective pullback of that before another wave up. So I'm just going to be real patient when dealing with the dollar pairs. You know, pairs in general, I'm going to see what the fundamental narrative is and see how price action is developing and just play it from there. But all in all, we could definitely see some big moves coming. And then gold, this was actually an anticipated sell, and gold does look like it could be setting up for a bigger fall. So when I saw this on the daily, all right, and we see gold just went crazy the last week or so to the upside, creating all-time highs. But then when it slowed up, and I see this on the daily, and price printed this evening star on the daily, which is a good indication of a potential reversal or potential move down. The higher the time frame you see this, the better. Usually when you see this evening star, it's best to see it at a level of resistance, a level of structure. But this has been so high, it looks like it was due for some type of pull. So after seeing that on the daily, I was in, you can anticipate some type of pullback or retest of that and then look to catch that. So it did do that. It pulled back, and then you see it ended the week falling to the downside. All right, because it actually broke down here. They gave a nice pullback of that and then fell. So right here, we're dealing with this range. So for this to go further to the downside, you would need to see price break below. This is like a range. All right. So if price, of course, if the dollar continues bullish, then you can expect to see gold break down, and then you can maybe look to catch the retest if gold is going to sell off. EU gave a fall. Based off this daily alone, I would look for another wave because the way this broke down, looking to the left, broke down from these levels of resistance or supply, formed this strong bearish close, bearish engulfing on the daily. So with the retest of that, if it retests within here, I would like to, that could potentially be an opportunity to catch another wave down. All right. So if that shows itself before news, before FOMC early, I might take that opportunity if we can get a nice retest before FOMC and look to catch a quick little move to the downside. Because if I do trade any dollar pair, I would definitely look to be a quick intraday move and look to be out before FOMC. Because usually I would like to wait till FOMC. So I'll just have to see what develops here. But yeah, looking at this on EU, could potentially retest and get one more wave down. All right, at least. AU also gave a fall, but we are pushing towards levels of structure. See right here, this level of demand. All right, so this is an interesting level. This is a level where it could potentially bounce. So you got to be careful because certain dollar pairs look like it could be leaning towards dollar bears. It could be leaning towards a bearish dollar, but it's a lot of manipulation surrounding these type of events. Because if I look at AU here on the weekly, it was a strong bullish engulfing, and now price is retesting that. So from a technical perspective, if it was no news, I would expect this to just on this retest to continue up. All right, but anything can happen. Dealing with like FOMC, so this could just be still break down. I mean, if the dollar continues bullish with FOMC, then I expect this to continue down, give another wave down. So really just got to be patient with this. I'm not necessarily looking to trade AU, but those of you that like AU, just got to play it by how things develop at this level. All right, now dealing with the yen. So dealing with EJ, this didn't play out how I wanted to coming into this week. Now, I wish I wasn't really paying attention. I forgot that the BOJ was coming this week. If I knew that, then I probably wouldn't expected them to just continue on this retest, because typically on this retest was an ideal level to look for a sell. But what it did was it gave a fake out. Initially it held, it rejected, held, right? And then you see it just turned around. It's completely turned around. So, and that's because we're leading up to the Bank of Japan, interest rates and everything. But so looking from a daily perspective, this did just close bullish engulfing. So early, maybe into BOJ, let's say this continues, maybe pullback retest and continues higher towards these highs. All right. But let's say if they raise rates, then you could look to catch this big move. If they raise rates, we're gonna see some nice swings. Now, looking at this on the weekly, this is also not a coincidence, I believe, that we're lining up with a perfect level of supply where price had a big fall in the past. This on the weekly is an evening star. So from a technical perspective, if it was no BOJ, none of that, I definitely would expect this to continue down. But if they do raise rates, this just lines up perfectly with the technicals. All right, so I'm going to be watching, definitely going to be watching EJ at these highs. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they ran towards these highs, then maybe raise rates. If that gives the confirmation fundamentally, then I would definitely be looking to catch these moves, because one thing about the yen, man, when they move, you're gonna see them all move very sharp, very big moves, you know, and I expect a move like this, similar to this, if they do raise rates. All right. So we're gonna see how things play out, and I'm definitely gonna be paying attention very closely when they're dealing with the yen. GJ. So dealing with GJ, same thing. You know, it rejected from that level. We had a strong pump, so we got a strong daily pump right here. All right. So this is looking like it could still possibly continue a bit higher. You know, maybe into BOJ, continue to these levels, but if they raise rates at these levels of structure, that's important, because looking to the left, this is a level of structure to pay attention to. All right, so we could maybe continue to these levels, and then if they raise rates, can make you get a sharp fall. So I'm going to be watching at levels like this. But again, if they don't raise rates, if they keep it negative, then yeah, I'm expecting this to head up very much so, at least back to these highs. All right, so I'm going to play it based off the narrative and what comes out, because if they don't raise rates, they keep them negative. I mean, we could see GJ head back into this level of supply, head back towards 195. All right, so either way is going to be a big move, whether that's to the upside or downside. You know, it's going to be a big move. So we'll just see how things play out from there. Right now, looking at this daily, I wouldn't sell into anything like this. That's very strong on the daily. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bigger moves up first before any more downside, if they choose to raise rates. Same thing with UJ, pump, pump, pump. So really, I anticipated this pump as well when I seen price at this level of demand, looking to the left on the daily. It printed this morning star right here. All right, seeing that, looked like these pairs were due for a reversal up, slight pullback, and then we see we had that pump. All right, same thing though, you know, on the weekly, we do got a strong even star right here. All right, which typically leans towards bears, and we are pulling back and retested that. But we're going to see how things play out with this news. You know, maybe at these levels will be ideal for sales. So if they come out, rates are higher, then that's just perfect to just go in line with the technicals and catch some big moves. So, but we'll see. But you got to understand both scenarios. If they don't, then, you know, UJ can just continue to the upside. And lastly, CADJPY as well. Looking at this on a weekly, so we had a breakdown, right, at this level of supply. Looking left, always look left to go right. See, this is a previous level where price had a big fall. So all of these pairs are at key. These yen pairs are at key levels leaning up into the event. So if it was no, you know, because it's also CAD CPI, but yen is going to overpower. If whatever happens with the yen, you're going to see all yen pairs move in the same direction, because the yen holds that much weight. It's a safe haven currency. So whatever they choose to do with yen, you're gonna see all the pairs move in the same direction, dealing with the yen. But if this was no major fundamental week, seeing this retest, I'll definitely be looking to sell this. All right. But you got to be careful now, because there could be a lot of manipulation dealing with this. They can spike these levels. If they still want to drop, they can spike levels and then, you know, grab liquidity above highs. So you got to be careful. But this, from a technical perspective, this definitely is the type of breakdown and retest that I would look for. But, you know, we have to see how things develop. You know, if they do come out and raise rates, you know, we could see this breakdown, you know, and if it gives this breakdown, you could look to, you know, ride that wave down, because it's gonna be a big fall if they raise rates. All right. So I'm looking forward to see how things develop this week. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can tap into the free Telegram if you're not yet. If you are new here, I do drop free analysis, free setups, I also do have a private Discord. In the private Discord, you do get access to training when I do live sessions, and, you know, also signals that I give out, you know. I've been doing it, so if you do join and sign up for the broker in my bio, Sway Markets, it's a way that I can give you free access to the group. So if you want to do that and follow the steps, that'll get you free access to the private Discord, all right? So I hope you all got value out of that. And let's get some pips, man. It's about to be a lit week. Peace and blessings. Shalom.